when you defy the voice in your head telling you that you cannot do something because it seems impossible in some way. Hi, hello, everyone. My name is Zari, and I own a very small business called Womb Queening. And basically, what womb queening is basically, it's when you harness your power, your energy as a woman from your womb. Excuse me. And as a result of harnessing this power from the womb, you essentially exude queen energy from doing this. And in a sense, you tap into your inner light and you unleash your inner light. And I have a course on this. It's called Beautiful Light Energy. If you want to check it out, it's going to be in the description below. And I'm also coming out with a book of the same name. So it's kind of like the ebook or the print book to the course. And I'm so excited about that because I will actually be dropping that on Mother's Day. So stay tuned. It's going to be really great. So today, I kind of had the urge to put out this video about basically limiting beliefs and kind of like why we have them, why they seem to come up even when we are doing so well in life or we feel like we're almost there to the finish line and we kind of like already have gotten rid of other limiting beliefs. So we can't kind of understand why we're having limiting beliefs at all. And I've been having this problem lately. Like I feel like I don't know, I feel like 2024 is such a good year for me. Sorry, you all, if you hear my daughter in the background, she actually is in the other room and she is making a little noise. Sorry about that. But anyway, whenever for example, I had to deal with a lot of limiting beliefs before I went into like inner work and counseling. But yes, I recently experienced this and I had a limiting belief one time, and it was while I was doing my artwork for the book. So I've been preparing for the book all April. At the end of May, at the end of March, I got an editor for it and all of that. The editor was editing everything, and I was still doing some of the illustrations then. And there was this beautiful treasure box. There was like a treasure poem inside of my book, and I wanted to draw a treasure box or like a jewelry box, something equivalent to it, just to kind of like set the mood of the poem inside the book. And I stalled because, and I don't know why I stalled, because I had been writing, well, not writing, but I had been drawing pictures for the book with no problem. And I was so satisfied with the results of each picture up until that point. And then all of a sudden I was like, I don't know if I can draw this. This is like too difficult for me to draw. And I was like, why am I telling myself this? Like, because I've always known how to draw. I've always been really good at drawing. And I've always been, thank you. All right. Sorry, you guys. Sorry. I've I've always been really good at drawing, so I don't know why I was having such a limiting belief. And I know now that it probably was imposter syndrome because I was probably this is my first time ever, coming out with a book ever. This is my first book, first poetry book, first everything. So I believe that I was having somewhat of imposter syndrome. Like, who are you to be drawing this? You can't draw, or you can't draw the illustrations for your own book. You're not a professional illustrator. I was coming up with all of these limiting beliefs. And then I had to come and sit and ask myself and say, why can't I not drop, but why can't I create the illustrations for this book? Why not? I'm really good at drawing. I'm super talented and I know the vision for this book. So why can't I draw that beautiful jewelry box that I see on Pinterest? Because I had that as the photo reference for my picture. Because I was like, oh my God, this beautiful jewelry box with this like Marvel looking swirly stuff. You'll see it in the book when you buy it. It's a beautiful picture. But I said all that to say that why couldn't I? I'm a great drawer. I'm a great illustrator. I'm a great painter, artist, or whatever. So when I said that, I was like, shut up, limiting belief. I literally said that, like, be quiet. You know, Stop saying you can't do something when you can. And I literally just sat there. I took my pencil, I started drawing the reference, and once it came together, it looked amazing. And then I went over it and did my line art, and it was perfect. It's like one of the best drawings I've ever drawn. But that drawing would have never happened if I had to let that limiting belief get in the way. And I say that to say that if you let limiting beliefs get in the way, they will really hinder your success. And you are the one that's controlling them. You can stop them and you can control them. And I always say to myself, why do we have Zariah? Once we control our limiting beliefs, we can get rid of them, and we have the power to get rid of them forever. But I want to also talk about, I told that story because I want to talk about where does our limiting beliefs come from. And basically, our limiting beliefs really come from things that we probably picked up from our childhood, things we've heard other people say. And for some reason, we kind of internalize that and it's stuck with us for quite a time or for a long period of time for some reason, just for some reason. Sorry to say it like that, but um in some way we kind of internalized it. And I'm having this limiting belief problem right now where um I am so I have my book, and my original plan was to have it for pre-order in April because I was going to get it formatted very quickly. But what happened was I was having trouble finding a formatter. There was a lot of them, but a lot of them were busy. There are a lot of the platform that I chose to find my formatter on. There were a lot of formatters, but a lot of them were like super duper busy. Some of them couldn't even do my book in the time period that I wanted because they had other projects ahead of mine and they couldn't stop their other projects for my project. So I understood that. But the one that I have now currently who took on my project, she won't be done with my book in for at least 10 days. And that's really the rest of April. So there is no really any way I could really have it for pre-order unless she finishes before 10 days is up. So what that means is I probably will more than likely have to have my book for pre-order on Mother's Day. And that wasn't my plan. My plan was to have it for pre-order in April and then release it officially on Mother's Day. That was my plan. But and so I kind of had this limiting belief like, well, is it still going to be successful if I have it for pre-order in on Mother's Day instead of officially launching it on Mother's Day? And that's kind of like what I was saying in my head. And I feel like that's a limiting belief. I feel like, oh, your book can't be successful if you didn't have it in pre-order in April because you didn't do a lot of promotion or marketing for it. And I feel like that's a limiting belief. I shouldn't do that because there are a lot of people who self-published books and they did no promotion for the book at all. They probably released it fast and the book was successful. I've seen so many authors do that. They weren't even expecting it to do that, you know, just based on the circumstances, and their book was very successful. You know what I mean? So a better example of this would be Rupi Kaur's what's the name of it? Milk and Honey by Rupi Kaur. I hope I'm saying her name correctly. She's a wonderful poet. Um, she did, well, some people don't even think she's a great poet, but I like her. I like Ruby Carr. I think she's a pretty good poet. Um, she wrote a book called, well, which was her debut, not her debut novel slash poetry book, and it was called Milk and Honey. And it was a huge success. It it did things that she didn't even believe that were possible. It sold 1 million copies. It's probably one of the greatest selling poetry books of all time. and she self-published the book. And like me, she was a just a poet, and she was a artist. So she did all of the illustrations in the book, and some of them weren't perfect, and some of them were like outstanding and beautiful per se. And it just was such a different book, and it went on to inspire so many other poets. A lot of poets now, they kind of like imitate the art of the book, and they kind of like, I see a lot of her style in a lot of poets today, like a lot of her not writing style, but a lot of her like drawings. Like when you go online and you see like um different like poetry books, like they kind of like have the same kind of line art, kind of same feel to them, if that makes sense. Yeah, it's the Ruby Carr all over again. And I feel like she's such an inspiration because she published this book not thinking that it was going to get a lot of sales or anything like that, and it just took off like wildfire. Like it paid off so much. Soon as the book dropped, bam, everybody was buying it and everything like that. It was like unheard of at that time. And I look up to that. I feel like I'm just, my mind is wrapped up into it. I'm thinking about it too much because the book is coming out pretty soon, my book. And I just have a lot of limiting beliefs behind it about the date, when I should do it, when I should release it, and all that kind of stuff. And I shouldn't, it shouldn't matter what date I release it on, because it's going to be successful anyway. That's how I look at things. That's how I manifest things. I claim mine now. And I just feel like it's like the devil, or quote unquote, like the devil in us. I like to look at it like that, because I feel like the devil and the and hell are kind of like a state of mind, rather than like actual places or people. I feel like that's a state of mind. I feel like we put ourselves through hell for no reason at times, because we want to be in that imposter mode, not thinking that we can do this and do that, because we're not good enough for that, and we're not good enough for this. But in actuality, we are. If we look at a lot of things, we have a lot of skills, we can do a lot of things, but we don't see the outcome. I mean, not the outcome, but we don't see that we have these amazing capabilities or skills, because we have doubt, or we have like, um what am I trying to say? Like we have doubt, or we have these limiting beliefs, and they prevent us from coming up with something good, or releasing something that could potentially change our lives. I feel like Milk and Honey changed her life. I mean, just think about it. What if she had limiting belief, and she didn't have like the balls enough to kind of like, oh, I'm sorry, I hope I can say that on YouTube. I don't want to get flagged or anything, so I'm gonna say something different. What if she didn't have the gut enough, or the guts enough, how people say it, the guts, or um the confidence enough to release that book? Because if she didn't have the book, literally changed her life single-handedly. And just because she decided, I'm not going to have limited belief, I know that I'm capable of writing a great book. I know that I'm a good poet. I know that I'm a great illustrator. I'm just going to put this book out and see what happens, because I want to have fun. And I've seen the interviews that she's done where she talked about the book and why she did it. And so that was amazing. Literally, like, look at what this woman did. Like, she literally said she did not think about, oh, maybe it's not going to be successful, maybe no one won't buy it. No, you can't think like that. And that's what I'm doing to end my limiting belief surrounding this book that I'm putting out, because it doesn't matter what day it's going to come out, because it is a beautiful book. You know what I mean? Even if it doesn't matter if I have it for pre-order on Mother's Day or not, that's my goal. You know, Now it is, since she's going to take her time in formatting it and doing it, because I want the book to be done correctly. So I don't care if it needs to be, if it needs to take a little longer for it to be formatted correctly. So anyway, um, and then I'm doing my book in two forms. One is going to be an ebook form, and then the second formatting is going to be like print. So my audience will have two. So, whoever buys the book. So I'm just excited. I want to take this moment in and just realize how it was and really enjoy the moment of creating my book. Enjoy this year. Enjoy the time that I'm making this book, just be in awe of it, because that's really how I should be feeling. And I do feel like that. It's just that limiting belief of it's not, who are you to come out with this book, and is it going to be successful? All that kind of stuff, I'm just washing away, because I'm thinking to myself, and my mentor always says, what if? What if you release this? You know what I mean? She's always saying, what if this? And now she says, she recently did a new vlog on her channel, and she says, um, what is this saying? Oh my God, I might edit some of this out because I'm always saying, I'm sorry, you guys. I was trying to think about what she said. My mentor said, why not you? That's what I was looking for. Why not you? And why not? Why can't you be the one? Somebody, and she always says it like this, somebody has to do this. Why can't it be you? You know what I mean? What if it is you? And now she says, why not you? You know, somebody has to have a best selling book. Why can't it be me? Why not me? You know what I mean? Why not me? I mean, I'm fully capable. I'm a talented artist. I'm a talented writer, talented in all of the arenas that I have been pursuing. So why not me? I'm the best person for this job. Why not me? Someone has to be on the New York Times bestseller list. Why not me? Somebody has to have a successful course. Why not me? You know what I mean? So that's true. So that's how I'm getting rid of that limiting belief. And I think also one of the reasons why I held this limiting belief for so long was because that it's a big limiting belief. Like a lot of times when we have small beliefs, when we have small limiting beliefs, we're able to kind of like just cut them right then and there if we have been doing our inner work. Sometimes we can't even cut our small limiting beliefs because we haven't done the inner work to do that. I feel like now that I have been doing my inner work, I'm able to cut small limiting beliefs that stayed with me for a long time up until I discovered what inner work was and why it is so important and why counseling is so important as well. So, up until I discovered those things and I started doing those things and implementing them into my life, I was able, I don't know, for some reason, implementing coaching, counseling, um, inner work courses, because I purchased two of my mentors courses. So implementing those things have really helped me break small limiting beliefs, but it takes a little bit more effort to break bigger limiting beliefs, because this is a big limiting belief, because it surrounds, it involves, per se, my book and everything about it, and it's such a big project, and I spent so much work on the illustrations, getting the editor, getting the formatter, getting everything I needed to make it successful. So it's a bigger limiting belief, and it's a little harder. It was a little harder to break, but I'm breaking it. I'm doing it. I broke it. I claim that I broke it. So I feel like that's why. But the mere fact that I'm able to realize that I have a limiting belief is progress at its best. Because once you realize that you have one, you can definitely work to get rid of it right then and there. You know, um, you can definitely work to get rid of it in real time. That's how I look at it. Whenever you know that you have one, you can definitely work to get rid of it in real time. And the bad thing about it is I really feel for people who don't have counseling, who don't have coaching, or who don't have inner work. They haven't discovered inner work right now. Um, and it's really bad that they haven't discovered inner work because inner work doesn't require any money or anything like that. All you have to do is literally sit down, find a composition notebook or a regular notebook or whatever, and just start writing out things that you feel have been limiting you and why they have been limiting you. You know what I mean? So it's like it's easier. I really feel for people who don't haven't discovered it. Hopefully they will because it really helps. I feel like if you don't know that you have one, you actually believe that limiting belief. So the more that you don't know that you have one, because I didn't know I had them. I just believed in the limiting belief, not realizing that it wasn't true, or I didn't realize that it was false, if that makes sense. So once you realize that you have a limiting belief, you have made so much progress and you have saved yourself so much time like you will not believe how much time you've saved yourself once. I'm sorry, that's my daughter. You will not believe how much time you have saved. You will not believe how much time you have saved, by realizing that you have one. Because if you realize that you have a limiting belief, like I said, you can get rid of it in real time and say, oh, this is a limiting belief. This is not real. This is false. So I'm going to get rid of this right now. See how great that is? And I don't know if Rupi Kaur has done any, I don't know her personally. I just know of her because she's a famous person. But I don't know if she's done any inner work, but she probably has. I mean, that was really bold of her to kind of like release a book with really no promotion. I don't even think she promoted it that much, and it still sold a million some copies. You know, and it was her first book. No, like she was relatively unknown at that point. I think some people knew her on Instagram because Instagram has always been a place for poets. So, it was really amazing how that happened. And I'm just gonna do the same thing. I'm just gonna just continue to believe in myself because I've seen so many synchronicities in this month to it's just amazing. Like I've seen so many signs that say that I'm gonna be so successful this year, especially this month and after. And I know that God is working in my favor. I know the universe is working in my favor. So I don't have to worry about anything. That's the beauty of femininity, laying back, relaxing, and having a free flow life, being free flowing and not worrying about anything, getting out of that survivor mode and being scared, when you don't have to. So at this point, I'm just free flowing everything, and I'm that's how I'm getting rid of that belief, recognizing it and saying this is not real, this is false. Why does it have to be successful in order for it to be this and do that? Why do I have to do this and do that in order for it to be successful? I don't, because it will already be successful. Realize that, claim your now, manifest the things in that way. Don't limit yourself and say you can't do this or can't do that. That is a limiting belief and you need to get rid of it. So that's my word for that. So remember this. I wrote this down too on my phone. So if you see me looking down, I'm reading some of the notes that are currently on my phone. I want you to remember this. I thought of this early this morning when I was writing notes for this video, and I said, defying the odds in other areas of your life is proof your limited belief. Defying the odds in other areas of your life is proof your limiting belief is a false assumption. I love that I said that, and I love that I came up with that. I don't know if anyone else has said that before, but I came up with it and I'm so proud of myself. I might put it in one of my books, who knows? But it's true. It's so, so true. If you have accomplished other things in your life and you have defied, you're defying the odds in other areas of your life, like that's so much proof that you need in order to continue to be successful and not let limiting beliefs hold you back. Like if you have accomplished something that you know was impossible to you at first, then that's proof that you can do anything. I mean, I myself was the same way. I I didn't realize I had accomplished so many things in my life that I felt like were impossible to do. Like, for example, there was a long time where I believed that I would never get an internship. It just didn't seem like someone like me would ever get something like that because I had never had one and I had never seen anybody, my age or people in my area get an internship. And I was like, that can't happen for me. You know what I mean? Like I can't. And then I ended up getting one in California of all places. And to people down here, that's like a huge accomplishment to people like in my area down here in this area, this small area of the South. Like getting something like that is amazing because people rarely do that here. People rarely get internships in big time cities or what they call a big time city. You know what I mean? So it was something that kind of just was a little unheard of, especially for myself, because I couldn't believe that I had actually got it. And I was like, what? And they picked me out of 1,200 applicants. So I literally had done something that was in like I defied the odds. And I was special. I felt special considering the fact that they picked me out of 1,200 applicants. And I not only was picked out of 1,200 applicants, I got a scholarship too to go to the internship that which paid for half of it. So, and then I became a published author that year because I wrote for the magazine that I was interning at. So don't say anything is impossible. I'm sorry. My eye for some reason has something in it and I'm trying to rub it out. Anyway, don't say anything is impossible. Don't limit yourself and say, "Oh, is this going to be successful?" Don't worry about it being successful. Just do it, put it out and let it be. And say you did it. That way you can never say that you didn't do it and you did it for yourself and you were successful at doing it. You're going to be successful anyway. Don't have no limiting beliefs. I know this was a blabber some of this video, but I hope I was able to change your mind in a sense. I hope I was able to help you see this limiting belief perspective from a different perspective and change the way you think in some way. I hope I encouraged you to do more inner work and seek counseling because I feel like those things are important as well. Coaching is important to seek those things. And I feel like everything will turn out well for you and you will stop having limiting beliefs because they really are not a good thing to have. Because they really hinder you from doing a lot of things and achieving a lot of things, you know. So I hope I was able to get through this video. And if I did, let me know in the comments. Don't just sit here and watch the video and like it. I see a lot of people liking, but no one is really commenting a lot. So make sure that you comment on the video. I would love to see your comments. I would love to see your reactions to things. Let me know. Even stitch this video if you want to. I think you can stitch on YouTube. Yeah. Let me know what you think. I would love to know what you think about this topic. I want to know if you had limiting beliefs before in the past, if they've hindered you in some way, if they didn't hinder you. Were you able to get through them in some way? Were you able to just challenge yourself and say, no, forget this. I don't have a limit. Just let me know your thoughts in the comments. Thank you so much for tuning in. I love you so much. This is Zari. I'm Zari. And yeah, I love you.